What up, y'all? It's your guy Dawson from Dawson Speak TV and D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, subscribing, and sharing the videos on this channel. Much love to those who support this channel by donating. I appreciate it. All that information is in the description box underneath the video. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notifications when I drop a new video. Now let's get into this topic. Alright, thanks for clicking on the video. Now, this video is for educational purposes, and as I approach this topic with respect, I want you all to please be respectful in my comment section. Thanks. Now, before I get into this story, I want to say that Dawson Speaks TV does not discriminate on the basis of race, color, religion, gender expression, age, national origin, disability, marital status, sexual orientation, military status, or political affiliation. Now, this case comes out of Florida, Miami, Florida. Now, you all remember a couple of weeks ago, I covered the case of Pastor Eric Redden, a pastor down here in Miami Gardens, Florida, who was arrested a while ago for driving a stolen Range Rover. Now, Pastor Eric Redden is back in court for a case that I've been paying attention to for years now, and that's the case of Mr. Edward Fuller, who is a retired postal worker. Now, Mr. Edward Fuller trusted Pastor Eric Redden because he thought, hey, he's a pastor, a man of God. Surely he's not going to do anything to hurt me. Psh, yeah, right. Pastor Eric Redden is accused of swindling Edward Fuller, Mr. Edward Fuller, out of his $267,000 home in Miami in 2016. Now, Mr. Fuller claims that Pastor Eric Redden convinced him to transfer part ownership of his home under the pretense of helping secure a loan for construction. Instead, Pastor Eric Redden allegedly sold the property without Mr. Fuller's knowledge and kept the proceeds. Now, in court this week, the state offered a plea deal in which Pastor Redden would only serve 366 days in a state prison and 10 years probation. However, Pastor Eric Redden rejected the plea deal and said he wants to go to trial. Now, the trial is scheduled for next month. If the jury finds him guilty, he could end up behind bars from anywhere between 6 years to 65 years for the crime he's accused of committing. Wow. Man. But you know what? On this show, I like to be fair, and I think we need to hear a word from Pastor Eric Redden. Don't you? As a matter of fact, I think it's apropos. So I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me. I'm Dawson, and I won't hold back.
I don't care how much the enemy tell you you're disqualified, you're not qualified, you will not amount to anything, that God has taken his hands off you, that God is whipping you, that God has you suffering. But I come to tell you, every now and then God will allow things to happen to you. That don't mean that you're not blessed. That doesn't mean that you're cursed. That means that you're just being tried. You're just being tested. But you got to have in your mind that I've got to endure this thing. I've got to run on to see what the end's going to be. I've got to run on because one of these old days I got a golden slippers. I got a crown of life. I got a long white robe over in glory. I've got to get to the place what my Father has designed for my life.
Pastor accused of stealing back in court today. Eric Redden rejected a plea deal and faces up to 65 years behind bars if convicted at trial. Local 10 investigator Jeff Weiss here, live in the newsroom with what happened in court. Jeff.
Pastor Redden seems to be rolling the dice, and today the judge made sure he clearly understands the risk. He's facing up to 65 years in prison. The state's offer just a year and a day behind bars.
So it's my understanding that you are facing a total of 65 years in state prison if you are found guilty at trial.
Inside a Miami-Dade courtroom, Judge Christine Hernandez laid out what's at stake. The deal on the table could keep Miami Gardens Pastor Eric Redden out of prison for decades. The state's offer, 366 days in state prison, 10 years probation, restitution to the victim. It is a deal Redden rejected.
This is your case. This is your life. These are the decisions that you have to make with consultation with your lawyer. I just want to make sure, do you understand the plea offer that's being extended? Do you understand what you're facing if the jury finds you guilty of these charges?
Pastor Redden charged with organized fraud, exploitation of the elderly, theft, and grand theft. Those are charges that stem from a 2017 Local 10 News investigation. It was back then Edward Fuller, a retired postal worker, told us Redden convinced him to transfer part ownership of his home under the pretense of helping secure a loan for construction. Instead, Redden allegedly sold the house without Fuller's knowledge, kept all the money, $267,000. There seems to be a pattern. Redden recently accepted a no-contest plea in Broward County, agreeing to pay nearly $200,000 in restitution to victims in Davie and Lauderdale Lakes who also say Redden tried to take their properties under false pretenses. Plus, a grand theft auto charge against Redden, recently dropped in Broward, could soon resurface in Dade.
This case is likely coming back for Mr. Redden, and there's an arrest warrant that may be drafted in the next few days.
Redden wants to take the Fuller case to trial. Not sure if he's going to change his mind, and right now that trial is set for July 7th. We, of course, will keep you posted. In the newsroom, Jeff Wines here, Local 10 News.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff. I'll take it from here. All right, y'all, let's go in. Now, first of all, let me say that I'm glad that this case is moving forward, and hopefully, just hopefully, Mr. Edward Fuller will get the justice that he deserves. Because, sir, what was done to you was pure evil, and you and your family, your daughters, you all didn't deserve that. You all, look at this house. Mr. Edward Fuller said in a news interview in 2017 that he wanted this house, and it would be a house that he would pass on to his daughters in the event of his transition.
Fuller bought this piece of property 30 years ago and had a plan. After a 35-year career at the U.S. Post Office, his retirement project was to build his dream house for his family.
It was like my gift for my daughters once I was going on. It's just that simple.
So that his daughters, his brown daughters, would know that even though you got your own life, your own career, but just in case things get hard or marriage ends, remember that your daddy prepared a place for you and your sisters. And this pastor took that away. In the case of Pastor Eric Redden and many of these so-called spiritual leaders, I believe that a lot of them, not all, but a lot, are in it for the money, the attention. They want to be popular. They don't have a heart for God or the people of God or for the community. It's all about them. Well, Dawson, it ain't all pastors and leaders. Yeah, I know. You're right. There are some really good pastors and ministries out there. Your job is to pray and ask God to lead you to them. But we can't continue to ignore that there are many people with the title of pastor, prophet, bishop, whatever, and those people have done some horrible things in the church and in the community. And for that, they need to be called out and held accountable. No more sweeping it under a rug or just saying, oh, y'all just pray and hopefully they'll get right. Look. If they get right or not, that's on them. That's on them. I just want justice to be served on behalf of the people they hurt, took advantage of, or abused. Because guess what? And I know that many of you church people don't believe this, but God also loves the victims. And it's not just always about your pastor, and trying to uphold his or her reputation, especially when there are many victims coming out saying the same thing, and they have the receipts to prove it. I'm done. Get down in the comment section. Let me know what you all think about Pastor Redden not accepting the plea deal. Please go off. Please share the video with family and friends. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. I appreciate that. And also thanks to those who support this channel and say, Brother Dawson, you bless me. I love you. I'm going to bless you back. I love you all as well, and I thank you for that. Until next time, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself and each other. And don't forget, protect your peace and protect your energy. Peace.